Close your books. So in the previous classes we have studied about photosynthesis, respiration, digestion, etc. process. So the next topic is excretion. I think you have studied about photosynthesis and its byproducts. Byproducts means whatever the products that are formed at the end products of photosynthesis. The end products of photosynthesis will be glucose especially and oxygen. So these will be utilized by during respiration process. During respiratory process, oxygen will be utilized, and it is going to oxidize the food material, and it is going to liberate carbon dioxide and some excess amounts of water. Some byproducts will be released. Similarly, after that one, when the composition of these byproducts or end products of respiration or digestion, whatever it may be, that process occurs in our body, if those byproducts are going to increase their concentration in the body, then they become toxic for our body. Here, each and every cell, we can take best example as human excretory system. In each and every cell, excretion process will occur. That means after completion of oxidation of food material, the leftover material is called as the waste material. There are several types of waste materials which will be produced because of this respiration process. We will study about whatever that during the class. Okay. So whatever the material that is produced during respiratory process is, if the concentration of that material increases inside the cell, then it becomes toxic. Toxic means poisonous to the cell. If it is not going to be removed from the cell, then the cell instantly dies, which leads to death of the tissue. And indeed, if the tissue dies, then it leads to the death of the organ, and the entire organism is going to die because of the toxic material being concentrated in a person's cell or body. Is it clear? If the material, if the entire byproducts of respiration, that is whatever the carbon dioxide or ammonia, uric acid, urea, etc. materials which are produced during the respiratory process, if they are not going to be released, then they are going to become poisonous material inside our body, which we call it as toxic material, and they are going to lead to the death of that person. So it is important for each and every living organism to excrete the waste material that is produced inside our body. The process of liberating this material which becomes as poisonous inside our body is termed as excretion. Removal of poisonous material from the cell or inside our body which are formed during the metabolic process is known to be excretion, and the products are said to be the excretory products. If you clearly observe, if you take blood as an example, as a sample, if you have gone to a hospital, you might have asked to give blood test, urine test, etc. So in that blood test, they will be collecting sample of blood, that is 10 ml to 20 ml of blood, and they will be conducting several experiments. Whatever that material that is there in the blood will be analyzed, and they will be tabularized in a form, and it will be given you as a copy to you and your doctor. And if you clearly observe whatever that is present in the blood, and this blood will be consist of these different types of products which are present in the blood: glucose, sodium, potassium, chlorides, urea, creatine, uric acid, cholesterol, calcium, phosphorus, bilirubin, albumin, etc. These are the material which will be found in a normal healthy person's body in the blood of a normal healthy person, and the amount varies from a normal healthy person to a diseased person. I think you might have observed diabetic patients will be giving their blood for concentration of this glucose in their body. That will be fasting and after lunch. Is it clear? Fasting means without eating any material, without taking any drink, water. They are supposed to give the blood, and fasting range will be glucose material will be around 60 to 80. It will be 60 to 100 in a normal person. If it is more than this quantity, then he is said to be, that person is a diabetic patient. If the glucose level inside the person's body increases more than 100, then that person is said to be diabetic patient. After lunch, it will be around 160 to 180. If it is more than that level, then the person is said to be diabetic. If it is between this range 60 to 100 and 160 to 80 or 150 to 160, then that person is said to be a normal person. Similarly, there are different types of amounts of concentrations of these material inside our blood. If the bilirubin and biliverdin, whose concentration is 0.1 to 0.8 in a normal healthy person on all the persons, if this concentration increases, then the person suffers from jaundice. Likewise, there are different tests based on this percent concentration of this material. You are said to be categorized into particular disease. Is it clear? If the concentration of this material in the blood level increases, either if glucose increases, then it is said to be then the person is said to be a diabetic patient. If bilirubin or biliverdin increases, then that person is said to be suffering from jaundice. Likewise, this is the material which will be present in our blood, and the concentration will be constant in a normal healthy person body. This is the range for a normal healthy person. If the percentage of concentration of this material increases in the person's body, then the person is said to be suffering from a particular disease. Similarly, when you test urine, when you give urine as a test in the laboratory, there will be several types of pigments, sodium, calcium, etc. will be present, whose concentration will be same. That is, excess amounts of sodium chloride, calcium, etc. salts which are present in our body will be liberated from our body in the form of urine. In the form of urine, we are going to excrete the waste salts, that is unnecessary salts which are present inside our body. These salts are produced inside the cell during respiratory process. When the food is reached, when the food is reaching the cell, the food will be burnt in presence of oxygen and it will be liberating some energy. That energy will be stored and we will be utilizing that for different purposes. But whereas the waste product will be liberated back into the blood, and the blood will be supplied to the kidneys where they are going to filter it. Whatever the required material is, by our body will be utilized or will be reabsorbed, and excess material will be thrown out. And that urine consists of several types of pigments and electrolytes, sodium, potassium, etc. These amounts of material will be present in the urine and they will be excreted out. Okay. So now in this today's topic, we are going to see about the external structure of a human kidney. External structure of human kidney. This is the brief introduction regarding excretory system. Why we require excretory system? Excretory system is there in our body to liberate or to release the excess amounts of waste material present in our body and excess amounts of salts that are produced because of metabolic process that occurs in our body. So that is the main purpose. If this material, excess material or whatever the byproducts of respiration are not going to be liberated, then they become toxic or poisonous material inside our body and it leads to the death of that person. That is the reason why we have excretory system. Just like lungs are going to expel out carbon dioxide. It is one type of excretory process also. And main excretory system, we consist of kidneys. Human beings, all the mammals will consist of kidneys as the excretory system. And if we see clearly the structure of a human kidney, right, these human kidneys, they will be having two kidneys, one on either side of our backbone, spinal cord, and they will be present in the lower part of the abdominal cavity. They are attached to the back portion of our abdominal cavity, back portion, and they are attached to the back portion, and each right side kidney will be placed below and left side kidney will be placed just above. The portion of the kidneys will be, right side will be just placed below and left side will be placed just above. The main reason for this is liver will be placed in that position. Since liver is present here. Since liver is present here in this portion, so it will be occupying the position, as a result of which the right side kidney will be placed just below when compared to the left side kidney. Is it clear? And each kidney is a bean-shaped structure. Externally, today we are going to see only external structure of kidney. Each kidney will be a bean-shaped structure. Over the kidney, it consists of a gland known as adrenal gland. This topic we will be studying in next class, that is in control and coordination. So adrenal gland will be placed over the kidney. If you clearly see the structure of a goat's kidney, over the goat kidney there will be a white colored portion over that one, just like a cap like structure will be over the kidney. Those white colored cap like structure is termed as adrenal gland. If anyone has seen a goat's kidney, over the goat's kidney it will be placed as a white colored portion. White colored top portion will be adrenal gland. It is nowhere related to kidneys. It is control and coordination. That is, it will be coming in control and coordination topic. So since we are studying the external feature, you have to know that the portion which is present over the kidney is known as adrenal gland. It is nowhere related to kidney. So external feature consists of a pair of kidneys will be placed. They will be placed in the lower abdominal cavity and they are attached to the back side of the backside, and right side kidney will be placed just below as when compared to the left side kidney. This is so as to accommodate the liver. Liver will be pushing the kidney just a bit down, and each kidney will be a bean shaped structure. Externally it will be a bean shaped structure and it is reddish brown in color. Each kidney will be reddish brown in color. From each kidney a single ureter arises. That means pair of ureters will be arising from right kidney and left kidney. And apart from that, a artery and a vein. That is, pair of arteries and pair of veins will be accommodated or will be attaching to the kidneys. Renal artery, these are called as renal artery and renal vein. Renal artery will be carrying the oxygenated blood to the kidneys from the heart, and renal vein will be carrying the deoxygenated blood from the kidneys to the heart. All these three portions, that is renal artery, renal vein and ureter, will be coming out and going in to a portion known as hilus. The portion, that is outlet and inlet of this renal artery, renal vein and ureter, will be coming out through a portion. The portion where these are going to come out, or where they are going to take birth, is known as hilus. They are going to come out through a portion known as hilus. So the opening of the kidney which is going to accommodate renal artery, renal vein and ureter is known as hilus. This is the portion where the three will be coming out. So renal artery will be carrying the blood from the heart to the kidneys, that is oxygenated blood. Renal vein will be carrying the blood from the kidneys to the heart, that is deoxygenated blood. Ureters will be, a pair of ureter will be coming out from the kidney and they will be moving downwards and it will be entering into a sac-like structure known as urethra. These ureters are tube-like structures. These ureters are tube-like structures which are arising from the kidney, and they will be collecting the urine from the kidneys and they will be passing them into urethra. Next portion is urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is the one which will be a sac-like structure. A sac-like structure will be present in the lower abdominal cavity, which is known as urinary bladder. Urinary bladder, and this sac-like structure will be consisting of circular muscles, two circular muscles, upper portion and lower portion. Upper portion, circular muscles, which will be consisting of sphincters, whenever the sphincter muscles are going to contract, then the opening of the urethra will be closed so as to fill the urine in the urinary bladder. It will be urinary bladder will be sac-like structure. It will be present in the lower abdominal cavity. It will be storing the urine. The capacity of the urinary bladder is around 300 ml to 800 ml. The capacity of each person's urinary bladder will be 300 ml to 800 ml. This much amount of urine will be stored. As soon as the urinary bladder is filled with 300 to 400 ml of urine, then you will feel the sensation of urination, and it will be prompting your brain to pass the urine outside or to expel urine outside. As long as it is not filled, that is when the percentage is 0, then both sphincter muscles which are present, they will be attached to this. There are two types, two muscles will be present, sphincter muscles will be present, upper and lower. These will be contracting, as a result of which the urethra will be closed so as to accommodate the urine. As soon as the urinary bladder is filled with urine, that is around 300 ml to 400 ml, then automatically the upper portion of the sphincter muscle will open without the knowledge of your brain, and the lower muscle will be opened only, lower muscle will be relaxing only when your brain prompts the urinary bladder to pass the urine. Until and unless that message comes from the brain, it will not open. Upper portion of the sphincter muscle, upper sphincter muscle will not be under the control of your brain. It will not be under the control of your brain. Only lower portion of the sphincter muscle will be under the control of your brain. As soon as the urinary bladder is filled with 300 ml to 400 ml of urine, then your brain will be passing the message to the kidneys to open the urethra so that urine will be expelled out. Is it clear? So a person cannot fill the entire urinary bladder with 800 ml. As soon as 400 or 500 ml reaches, or 500 to 600 ml reaches, then automatically, without the knowledge of that person, that is, urine will be passed out. If you are not passing out, then it becomes as a poisonous material inside your bladder, and it either bursts or you may die because of the poisonous material being circulated reverse. Is it clear? Either the bladder bursts after reaching this maximum capacity. For example, you take an example of a balloon. You blow the balloon. Whatever the maximum capacity it will be there, it is going to blow for that size. It is going to increase in size. After passing that one, then what happens? It is going to burst. Similarly, the urethra will be safe. If it reaches the maximum capacity, if you are not going to pass out urine, then it becomes poison, either it bursts or it becomes poisonous material, and which leads to the death of that person. And when the sphincter muscle opens, this is urethra, which will be around 4 centimeters long in females and 20 centimeters long in male. Urethra, which is the passage for urine outside, its length will be 4 centimeters long in females and around 20 centimeters long in males. And once it is reached with this 300 to 400 ml, the amount of urine will be passed out. This is known as urination process. This is the external structure of kidneys. A pair of kidneys will be present inside our body. They are present in the lower abdominal cavity. They are attached to the back portion, back side. And each right side kidney will be placed just lower when compared to the left side kidney, so as to accommodate the liver. Each kidney will be a bean-shaped structure. Over the kidney, it consists of a gland known as adrenal gland. Adrenal gland releases a hormone known as adrenaline, which we will study in next class. That is control and coordination. This adrenaline is called as fight or flight hormone. Adrenaline hormone is known as fight or flight hormone. Either it makes your body to fight that condition, or it makes your body to suppress that condition. For example, if you are feeling cold, then your body starts shivering. If you are feeling warm, your body starts producing sweat. That is because of adrenaline hormone released by adrenal gland. You may fear. Sometimes if it is complete dark, someone touches you, then what happens? You are going to fear. That is because of adrenaline hormone released by adrenal gland. It will make your body to fight or flight. This is called as fight or flight hormone. It is nowhere related to kidneys. So each kidney is bean-shaped structure. It will be reddish brown in color. From each kidney, artery, renal vein, and ureter arises, which arises from the portion known as hilus. Renal artery will carry the blood, oxygenated blood from the heart to the kidney. Renal vein will carry the impure blood, that is deoxygenated blood from the kidneys to the heart. And ureters will be arising, which will be carrying, or which is the passage for tube-like structures, which is passage for urine. They will be moving posteriorly and obliquely, and it will be entering into urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a sac-like structure. It is a pear-shaped and sac-like structure. Its capacity is around 300 to 800 ml. The capacity of urinary bladder will be. As soon as it reaches 300 to 400 ml, then the sphincter muscles which are present on, it will be consisted of two sphincter muscles, upper and lower. Upper sphincter muscle will not be under your control. Both will be making the urethra to close, the opening of the urethra to close until it gets filled. As soon as it reaches its capacity of 300 to 400 ml, then upper sphincter muscle will lose its capacity, that is, it will be relaxing, not opening, it will be relaxing, and lower sphincter muscle, which is under the control of your brain, will be prompting. It receives the message from your brain either to relax or concentrate. That is, either to relax or to contract. So it will be in the contracted position until your brain passes the information to release or to relax. As soon as it relaxes, then the opening of the urethra will be opened, and the urine, that is around 300 to 400 ml of urine, will be excreted out of your body through urethra. The urethra will be of a size 4 centimeters long in females and 20 centimeters long in males. And from the brain, as soon as we receive the information, it will be, the amount of urine will be passed out, which is known as urination, and it depends on person to person. We will study the internal structure of brain, what happens inside the internal structure of kidney, and urination process, dialysis process in the next class.